the Eugene S. Show Stomper. I am your host, Eugene S. This is a perfectly 90-degree show. Look at that. I get that out in the shoes fit. I'm not a trained monkey. I'm not going to jump and do the old intro. You just have to listen. This is Stigmata. Song is Intro All of Nothing. Still available from Revelation Records off of the record All of It Jump. Other East California, the Revelation Records is also town where they should be inventing a nightclub to call it Ham. And one of your mayor takes them out of town. You go to the Central Court and English and guess what? That is Bob Rowe. Listen well. Sunday came and went, son. I'll spend all into the tier 2 ward. Further to knowledge. That's just Bob writing syndication. I don't know what happened. You have to know. Ask me what happened. It's like asking me to extend Bob to you. Unlike possible, it's unlikely to happen. If you listen, you have to be seen. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's what you used to talk about that soon. It's good. Now, please. Time to look. Alright. Let's see what they here's the fucking thing. Well, where's Bob to come in there? I'm getting ready. I'm on my way back. How about nowhere? I took my time, but I could not see too clear. Now I'm taking a real good look at you. Now I'm taking a real good look at your face. I'm on my way back to there, boy. I'm taking a look at my I'm playing back and forth with nothing. Alright, man, that was a like the Ghetto Boys. We will not be stopped. This is version number 318.
Thank you. You deserve a gold star. I always like invading to Poland.
I like invading.
It's very peaceful.
It's very peaceful, invading to Poland. So anyway, man, all right. Commercials. Many of you have answered the call. You subscribe to either Look What You Made Me Do or the Eugene S. Showstopper Substack. And when I say subscribe, I don't mean you click the free button that you actually gave the $5 a month or whatever. That's cool because I'm still into June for $100 a week. So we got to at least be able to do that. I know we can do it. I'm not guessing. I know we could do it. I'm going to, right now, we have a new nanny that we're auditioning, and she's in the outside room. So in order to avoid the Marilyn's dates, meet her family in the Munsters. If you don't know what that means, you got to go back to the 60s. The Munsters. Type in Google Marilyn's date meeting the Munsters, and you'll see what I'm talking about. In order to keep that from happening, I will try to speak more quietly. And that's like where I think I got with the sound thing screwed up, because before the show started, I tried to turn it down and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Bushwick Bill, who I met at South by Southwest, was a phenomenal meeting. I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I actually met him. So I'm going to be a little sotto voce for the show because people don't be needed to know my business, and this is part of the business, right? So she's out there. She's not taking to get to the park today because I want to be able to listen, right? So anyway, yeah. She's 6 years older than me, so we have a lot of the same cultural reference points. And our hips are about as functional as mine are. That's not true. Mine are getting better. I had to fight to get these. This is Mobic, and it's a new prescription for Mobic. This is Unichem. Who among us hasn't wanted to buy something from a company named Unichem? Isn't that nice, touchy feel? Doesn't that sound like nothing bad's going to happen to me? Because who will stand against me if Unichem stands behind me, where they're rodding my ass? I don't know. I haven't taken it yet. I should probably take it before tour, just in case. If anything is weird is going to happen, better to have it happen now than in Zurich. But whatever. They were giving me such a hard time about it. And even then, the pharmacists are doing this thing like, have you taken this before? Yes. Oh, and they have to go back to the computer. So you know how to use it. I go, unless it's changed, yes. Well, it has changed, but no, look, just give me the pills. Oh, that'll be $39. Isn't that great? We're at $3,300 a month for healthcare that I pay. Doesn't cover glasses. I can barely see you. Yeah, it's not narcotic. Yeah, and $810 for glasses. I pay $3,300 a month for health insurance. That doesn't cover glasses. I'm not going to complain. I'm just noting. All right. So this is people that, why are you moving? It's like, come on, man, come on. You know, there are two types of conversations that we have on the regular. There's the one that you can hear in an auditory way. Your ears are working. You hear the sound waves are exciting. They get to your ear and you understand what. And there's the other conversation. There's a conversation when the husband says, I love you, babe, and he's watching football on TV. One conversation says, I love you. That's what the person might hear. And the other conversation is like, you leave me the fuck alone. I'm watching the game, right? Two conversations all the time. Yeah. Exactly. SAG health insurance only covers you if you make more than like $4,000 a year acting. You need to know that no, that's not how much money first couple of years, that's what I was making, but not now. Mostly because I auditioned for nothing and I get nothing. If you audition for nothing, the chances of getting nothing are exceedingly high. But let's go back in time. Commercials are done. I want to say thank you for the people donating. I got a call from my mayor, a guy who I wrote an article about, Antonio Lopez, and we're just chatting and chewing it. And then at the end of the call, I don't know why I didn't see this coming. Yeah, he put the touch on me for money. I go, well, how much money you want, bro? He was like, well, some people are giving 200. I go, well, that's out. He goes, well, 100 would be good. I said, how about 20? He goes, well, if that's what you can do, that's what you can do. It's like, yeah, that's what I can do. And I have some fucking complaints here. Everybody in my neighborhood seems to be shooting off their guns by way of celebration or, extension of power. I need you to know that if it comes down to that, I'm the king of this fucking neighborhood. So maybe we could have the cops spend more time around here so people are not doing it, because I don't want to have to, exercise my Second Amendment rights here just to get from the car to the house. And he's like, oh, okay, that's right. Make them pay. Make them pay for the fucking 20 or the 10 or whatever I end up giving, So anyway, let's go back in time a little bit. So we've done the commercial. Donate if you can. I'm in to a June for $100 if you can't. That's all right. Also, Jimmy Is, who's in the show as well. His conversations for adults, his Substack is fucking fire. Now he's only this Substack business is like Emmett Smith. Anybody could be a fucking decent running back, or I guess he was a running back, right? But to do it as long as Emmett Smith has, that's the real skill. Now, I don't make any claim that Mr. Is an Emmett Smith, but if he does nothing else but the one he just wrote, if he writes not a single word beyond one that he just wrote, that shit is fire. And I'm guessing, and you can let me know here, Mr. Is, if that's a true story. But that shit had me. I was motherfucker. You're a good man. You're a better man than I am. Because I have to tell you, I would have torched all those fuckers right down to the timbers. Every single one of them. Not putting up with that for a minute. But you kept in there. You kept trying. For those of you who think this is kind of elliptical, I'm just saying, grandma was a motherfucker, and I don't mean the good type. That was fire. Izzy say, put it here, Mr. Is. Put the link to your Substack. That shit was great, and I subscribe to his Substack, and don't judge me harshly that I'm not a paying member of his Substack, but it's professional kindness. I don't expect any other writers to actually pay to subscribe to mine, but you know what I mean. So 100% true. God, that good man. He's a good man. I'd have roasted those. I'd have gone beyond. I'd have burned them out of their houses. But Jimmy is that's why he is where he is, and I am where I am. He's a good guy. So anyway, so earlier this week, I'll tell you, everything was catastrophic, right? Absolutely. If you follow me on the Instagram, you know that the fucking dogs, the Huskies have been terrorizing the whole neighborhood. Not just this neighborhood that I live in, but the entirety of East Palo Alto. If you go to East Palo Alto homeowners group or the neighbors group or all that shit, people are like, there are Huskies on the hiking trail. There are Huskies these Huskies roam far and wide. And it's one dude who owns him. He pulls up to the house in the pickup truck and he's got a cage in the back with puppies in it. And he's clearly breeding these fucking things. It is totally the wrong fucking dog. What do you think people think from Central America who have never seen a husky that they got a fucking wolf? Is that what you think they think? Those dogs are working dogs. They're high activity dogs and they're smart as fuck. And if you think putting 4 of them in a yard together is going to do it, you're wrong. That's why they keep escaping. And something else you're wrong about. If anybody within the sound of my voice came to the conclusion that I would not shoot those dogs next time they're in my yard, you're absolutely wrong. Yeah, exactly. Christy, no, I don't need her. I have a history. And I'm a dog lover. I love dogs. I just don't love your dog. And we thought then there was an upset in the house because the wife thought that her favorite feral cat that she feeds, much to my chagrin, and it's a cool cat, but that he was murdered and that the other cats were traumatized because they had to witness the murder. And then I said, no, I saw him on the yard post facto. He's back. Everybody's all anxious and kind of upset. And then the Oxbow tour is about to start. Then June 9th, I had to go into the studio to re-sing some more songs off of the new Oxbow record, which is called Follow Me Now in Merry Measure. And so it's just been boom, 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 boom. If you can see this office right now, I got merch piled up. I got suitcases. I got scales because I got to weigh this shit, so I don't want to pay any overage. It is pre-tour insanity. Yeah, cats, you can't kill them. Much to my, we don't need all these cats. I don't have any more squirrel problems or rats or mice problems, but they're not good for shit for raccoons, and possums are all right. So if they could take care yesterday I was spraying the coyote piss all over the yard. Of course, the bottle slips and then I get coyote piss all over me. And it's like, man, so practicing like crazy to get in shape, running, CrossFit, doing cardio. So I got big stages to play on. I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be. New haircut on Friday. I'm set. Got the passport. Will not forget anything. But going into Friday, I had nothing. I had nothing for the Substack. All of you who were here, probably within the sound of my voice, have read the Substack, and I'm not going to go too deep into it because I don't need what I wrote about happening in the Substack to be happening on the show. It has happened on odd occasion that I've lost it on the show. I haven't vomited on the show. I've only passed out on the show and sobbed on the show. Those are the two things I've done. If you're an old fan of Knuckle Up, you might have recalled me passing out on the show because I held the Knuckle Up, held the note too long, hit the floor. I thought it was an earthquake. Yeah, I'd like to say that only happened once, but in actual fact, it happened twice. The sobbing was another story. It's just, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think too much about it. Shoulder my burdens without complaining. I'm just noting. I'm not complaining. I'm just letting you know. Read the Substack. Send it to a friend. Oh, that rhythmic gym. Well, actually, it was funny that you should remember that the beekeeper, the urban rhythmic gymnastics was in the parking lot of where I was yesterday. That was a 25th Street Recording Studios parking lot. And let me tell you, that shit was exhausting. Jumping around with the stick and the ribbon on it. Make fun of those people all you want. That's a sport. I did that shit for the video for 5 minutes. I was toasted for the rest of the day. And that's even doing jiu-jitsu 7 days a week. So, so there you go. And of course, who was it on If the Shoes Fit? The guy who glossed me with the cognomen, what do you call it? What was it? Irrepressible, goon, insufferable goon. That's what it was. The guy who glossed me with insufferable goon made an appearance on If the Shoes Fit. So now, in addition to having the business card in addition to having this business card, which I've had the occasion to give out one time. I'm being very stingy with it. This business card, which I love. You can thank the French for this. The French who are one step closer to a Le Pen presidency. This one. And then on the other side, yeah, buddy, so this next one I get will say insufferable goon, because I was trying to explain to somebody, and also my kid, she said, what's a goon? I tried to explain to her, a goon is somebody who fights easily, because very clearly they enjoy it. So I understand that. So anyway, so I got nothing going into Friday. And I'll just cut this short. I start talking to somebody about my kids, about Cora specifically, and I fucking lose it, right? I'm fucking unexpectedly. I mean, it's like, yeah, a goon is a thug is a goon. The difference is a thug has a long religious history. If you remember the Thuggee, it was a religious cult in India, and part of the cult was you had to befriend and deceive a traveler. You worship Shiva, and part of it was deceiving the traveler. You would feed them, you would accommodate all your strangers' needs, your friends' need. You cook them food, you would cut, whatever they needed, and then at the conclusion of which you would stab them to death, choke them to death, throw their bodies down a well, and receive their offering, which was all of their money. So essentially, Thuggee is what they were called, and they were outlawed fairly recently, like in the 1900s. I think they were outlawed, but before then, if you met a stranger on the road and they were really nice to you, chances are you were going to be ritualistically murdered and thrown down a well and robbed. What a great idea! What a great idea to make. We could call it like the Church of Barabbas, to make a virtue out of your vices. I was just a robber, I was just a thief, robber, and a murderer before, but now I'm a thuggee. There are books on it, really fascinating stuff. Letting you know, India has been a place of dark proclivities for a long time. And here I'm thinking of the Dutch tourist who stopped and asked a group of men how to get back to my hotel because I'm lost. The men looked at her and said, and they gang raped her. Staggering from this gang rape, she in searching for help to get her to a police station so she could report the gang rape, she approached another group of men and said, "Oh my God, I was just gang raped by this group of men. Could you point me to the local police station?" And they looked at her and they gang raped her as well. So eventually she got to the police station. For the trifecta, my expectation was that the police would have also gang raped her, but at that point they took it seriously. Sorry, Dutch tourist, now go home. Jesus. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Ghettos came. And what's funny about ghettos originating here, if you go, there's an eerie feeling if you spend any time in Amsterdam. You're walking around Amsterdam and go, why does this feel so eerie to me at odd points? Because it's Brooklyn. It's essentially a Dutch Reformed church. The Dutch settlers, they left their architectural mark all over New York City. Anyway, I've gotten kind of far afield, and this story doesn't involve loads. So let's get the shit back on the straight and narrow. So I got nothing. So I decide, well, I'm going to write this piece about not so much the nothing, because at first I was edging toward writing about Hunter Biden. I remember I already wrote a Hunter Biden piece, and generally, if there's nothing in the news, I'm not thinking about the news. It's got to be what I'm obsessed with. So it's like, okay, how come I'm losing it so much? I said, well, a certain amount of it I could blame on steroids, right? Like everybody gets excited, but given that, your adrenal glands sit on top of your kidneys and that a year-long steroid abuse, can distend the tubes that carry the adrenaline into your kidneys, whereas metabolize and put in your system for a fight or flight. Maybe I get just as easily angry as anybody else, but I get the intensity of the anger is high. I go, I haven't gotten angry in a real long time. People cut me off in traffic. I'm generally fine. What's going on? And I go, oh no, man. It's a function. So this is 318 of the Eugene S. Robinson Show. Stomper. Don't die. The next show will be done on European time, and I hope I don't die either. We'll see you guys soon. Read that Substack. Look what you made me do. Don't die, buddy. Don't die. Don't die.